One more quest. Lena, what do we do? The Unbroken Thread. Lena urges you to follow her. We're going into the secret closet of the Crystal Exarch. Come, meet me in the ocular, and I will unlock the door within. Head to the ocular. We're doing so much teleportation in these last quests. The music is so sad here. So sad. Let me in, gatekeep. Mistress Geoff, the captain said to expect you. Tell me your secrets.
I have unlocked the door to the umbilicus. You are free to enter. Once you have what you require, I'll see it sealed once more. Until then, I will remain without.
Oh man. Don't we get to... I feel like she's one of the best characters in the expansion, but we hardly ever... She's hardly in any scenes. It's really frustrating. Well, the Crystal Exarch has a lot of books. Books and such.
A moment to collect my thoughts, I prithee. Thy true name is Grahatia, then? By thy claims, thou too art a native of the Source, though from an age beyond our own, when the 8th umbral calamity hath visited devastation upon our star.
He's from the future.
Thou hast, by subtle means, reached across the boundaries of time and space to unsow the seeds of catastrophe, ere its creeping vines drag our champion unto an early grave.
So he only cares about the Warrior of Light. He doesn't care about the millions of people that are gonna die. He's just like, oh, I just gotta save the Warrior of Light. That's all that matters.
In essence, yes. A difficult story to swallow, I am sure.
I doubt not the veracity of thy words, not the account of thy coming, nor that of the fated calamity. Yet my mind straineth still to apprehend the enormity of this tale. Wouldst thou favor me with a gradual unfolding of its chapters?
Certainly. But where to begin? I should start with those great minds who survived the calamity, Sid Garland being perhaps the greatest. In hopes of staying the unending tides of war, he and his fellows pursued all manner of possible solutions. One of these was rooted in a theory which unified several fundamental principles discovered over the course of the Warrior of Light's adventures. It proposed a method by which one could enter the River of Time, traverse the rift, and leap between worlds. Perfecting that idea, however, was a work which consumed their lifetimes, and thus was it left to future generations to decide whether theory would be put into practice. But all the while, the world continued to burn. Hope was a feeble outpost, beset on all sides by thievery and misery and murder. People cried out in despair, "There is no hope, we are finished. Mankind is finished." Then others raised their voices in answer. Though we be beyond salvation, those who came before may yet be saved.
What?
We will forge a crossroads and pave the way for a different future. By the wisdom of our forebears, we will prevent this calamity from ever having come to pass. The fighting went on unabated, but some few took up Sid's research and labored to realize those impossible ideas. After 2 centuries of labor, their descendants finally succeeded in awakening the Crystal Tower, an integral part of the process, and, in doing so, roused its caretaker, me. By this stage, scholars had largely established the phenomena underpinning the rejoining, and identified the first as the shard which precipitated the 8th umbral calamity. This grand structure was already capable of storing the energies required to attempt the translocation. All that remained was to augment some few of its functions based upon the theoretical models of Sid and his compeers.
And by means of such technologies didst thou effect thine arrival in the first, to an age before this star had joined with the source.
So, I don't really need this detailed explanation of the logic behind this, because it's all just magic, hand-wavy mumbo-jumbo. It doesn't matter. What I'm confused about is if they had the means to go back and stop the 8th umbral calamity, why didn't they go back all the way to the first one and just stop all of them?
Some while before, as it turned out. 'Tis all but impossible to predict how time will flow between one world and the next, and we missed our mark by almost an entire century.
I guess if he had gone back and stopped even the first one, then that would basically be doing the work of the Ascians. Because the Ascians want all the worlds joined back together too, so... this is a weird plot logic.
But this only worked in our favor. The Sin Eaters could not be defeated without the blessing of light, and summoning the only woman who might stand a chance against them would require decades of preparation.
I'm not really tracking what he's doing here is a good thing. That's what I mean, he's basically doing the same thing as what the Ascians are doing, which is undoing the splitting. Wait, no, I think I have that backwards. I don't know, it's very confusing. But why? Yeah, so wait, so if he goes back to before the first umbral calamity, then it would be after the splitting into the 14 worlds, so it would be before the first rejoining. So if he went back to that point, he would save gajillions of lives. I mean, there's no guarantee it wouldn't happen again, but I don't know, this is this time travel thing, this is a weird logic here. I'm not really buying it. Uriange's
Taking of scarce credible endurance. That thou hast kept thy plan from falling into disarray these many years bordereth on the miraculous.
Yeah. That anybody could figure out this plot is bordereth on miraculous too.
Yet howsoever history be rewritten, thy present self was shaped by events which followed the calamity. Should said catastrophe be averted, the very skein of thine existence will unravel. Surely thou hast foreseen this.
I am aware of the consequences. 'Tis for that very reason Cid and his colleagues bequeathed their legacy as an offering, and not an edict. To give all of oneself for the happiness of others, and with no promise of reward, 'tis a hard thing to ask. Harder still for those condemned to survive in a world which pitted brother against brother. Indeed, you are right to call the execution of this plan miraculous, though the force which held it together was nothing so inexplicable. It was her. The warrior of light has been our unbroken thread. Where others would stumble and fall, she would rise above. Where others would break and run, she would carry on.
Oh, is the the Warrior of Light is still there in the future too? He's doing that same hand move that Reen does. Interesting.
The Warrior of Light's tale is one of unyielding bravery. To tell it was to feel courage. To hear it was to feel hope. It was a breath of inspiration in an age of suffocating shadow.
Wait, no, she was supposed to have died in the 8th Umbral Calamity, so there was no Warrior of Light. I was thinking they somehow used the Warrior of Light's powers to do this time travel, but no, that can't be right.
In the histories of a fallen nation was our hero hailed as its greatest ally. In the time-worn pages of a noble's memoirs were her deeds joyously retold. For many, these stories were the flame which warmed them through the coldest of nights. And so it should come as little surprise that the plan found no shortage of volunteers, concerning as it did the Warrior of Light herself. It was their chance to add their own verse to the hero's saga. She was the lodestar that brought them all together, to send their final message back through time and space to her. The light of your legacy was our torch in the darkness. Burn bright again and live. I am merely the bearer of that wish, come to ensure it is safely delivered.
The Warrior of Light started a cult.
Wherefore sharest thou this burden with me and no other? What wouldst thou have me say?
That you will be my accomplice? 'Twas you yourself who convinced me of your suitability when you spoke of how you learned of the Flood, and of your part in arranging Minfilia's journey to the First. Your actions showed uncommon resolve. 'Twas clear you were committed to the cause of saving this world. I knew I could trust you to choose the right path forward, even if that choice came with a heavy price.
That's awfully manipulative.
What price?
When all is said and done, and the last of the Light Wardens lies slain, I will absorb their corrupted ether, and then I will die. Knowing what I know of your companions, not to mention your champion, they will try to stop me. But in saving one, they would save none. Therefore, I implore you to aid me in concealing my identity, and ensuring this tale ends as it must. To this end, I would have you take what I have told you of the Calamity, and make of it a portent. A prophetic vision you beheld in the swirling chaos of the Rift.
There's the lie.
Is this truly thy wish?
History remembered the Warrior of Light, as I knew it would. And I will suffer no other to rescue the champion whose star has charted my course. I will see this tale to a happy end, my friend. There has been enough tragedy.
Oh, he's looking right at the camera. So he's looking directly at the Warrior of Light, because he knows that she will be looking back at this moment in her echo.
Careful now. If you lose control again, the light could claim you for good. Although it's probably only a matter of time before you succumb to the change in any case. What do you mean to do?
I mean to have a few words with both Emmett and the Exarch. Meow, 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 meow.
Then we should be on our way. Diassian mentioned the Tempest, did he not? That's the stormy seas around Calusia to you. His lair must be down there somewhere, hidden beneath the waves.
I didn't know there was a place below the waves. Did you find the answers you sought? If there is nothing more you need, I will go and lock the door. I have some questions about the Tempest. Meow, 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 meow. The Tempest, that is the name given to the seas by which Calusia is bound. If you make a request to the Tamers, they will provide you with an amaro to fly you over the waters, but... Meow, meow. Do you mean to leave right this moment? Alone? I am not sure that... Nay, I will not seek to stop you, but with the blessings of the Shadow, I shall await your safe... Go with the blessing of the Shadow, and I shall await your safe return. A word to the tamers at the Amaro launch, and they will lend you a beast to carry you over the Tempest. I only hope that you will be close enough to where you need to be. Wait, so am I just leaving? I'm just leaving everybody behind? What about the super friends? I can't go without the super friends. Have I not learned any lessons from Renda Ray? Renda Ray ran off by herself. You require an Amaro. Just a moment, I shall saddle our swiftest beast to fly you to the island. The open water? To the depths of the Tempest? Our Amaro can swim, yes, but to reach the ocean floor... Meow, 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 meow. Oh, I have a headache.
Ah, we have found thee. Word reached us of thy recovery, and thus did we gather with all haste. Ah. By thy looks, I gather thou hast gleaned that which I came to tell thee.
Urianger has shared everything with us. The Exarch's true identity and purpose.
I offer no excuses. When I agreed to aid the Exarch with his plans, 'twas in full acceptance of the condemnation I would face when my duplicity was laid bare. Yet it is not rancor, but resolve that I sense in thee. Thou art fully intent upon walking thy path to its end, art thou not? If thou canst forgive my deception, or, failing that, set aside thy displeasure for a time, I do beg leave to follow thee. What strength and wisdom I possess are thine to command.
I'm a danger to those around me. Meow, 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 meow.
I understand the precarious nature of thy condition. Nonetheless, it is my wish to remain at thy side for as long as I am able.
I'm sorry, but I don't think this is a good idea. Leaving the Crystarium, I mean, with or without Urianger. What I did for you won't last forever. There's no telling when the light will break free again. Please, you must stay here, at least for a little while longer. We will find a way to cure this, I promise you.
How can you make promises? We don't even know where to start.
Wow.
Alize, please. You know Reen was only trying to help.
Of course I know! I know only too well! But making promises you have no way of keeping is not a kindness. It's a lie. Plain and simple.
Oh, something must have happened back at the inn.
We've all searched high and low for an answer, and every one of us came back empty-handed. I am not about to stand in her way now. Not after failing her in her hour of need. No, The least we can do is...
Aw.
We will go with you as well. There is naught to be gained by standing still.
Indeed, we have exhausted every other avenue. Lead, and we shall follow. If there is any hope to be found, then we will surely find it at your side.
Are we all in agreement then?
Is there aught we can do to help?
The citizens!
Though we may not know the whole story, we do know you're in for a fight. And while the Exarch's away, it falls to the rest of us to see the Warrior of Darkness is given a proper send-off.
You told them!
No! Well, not in so many words.
Aye, we didn't need it spelled out for us. When the night sky appeared over whichever place you went to, it was harder not to put two and two together.
From the moment I heard that you and the Exarch shared the homeland, I had my suspicions. Long had he been waiting for a certain someone to arrive, and I knew at once that it must be you.
Exactly. When he went up to meet you, it was clear it was no ordinary visitor. That spring in his step spoke volumes. I could feel his excitement.
Me too! That's right!
Yeah, yeah.
Yay, the crowd goes wild.
We do not fully understand where you or the Exarch hail from, or why you've all done so much to protect us. But we are deeply grateful nonetheless. So, if there is anything at all we might do to aid your journey, you need only name it. What would you have of us?
I mean, can you do something about all this light that's inside of me?
You might have invited them to join us, where there are not so many. But come, they are waiting. What is your will, O Warrior of Darkness?
Defend the Crystarium until we return. Meow, 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 meow. Hooray! We can do that! Now what are we doing? Oh, okay. The Super Friends are back! Reen has doubts. There's nothing I can do to cleanse you of the light's corruption, but I'll do everything in my power to keep it in check. If the Warden's ether overwhelms you again, you will become a Sin Eater. So please, save your strength for when it really matters. The volunteers who journeyed to Calusia have all been safely returned to their homes. They've also assured us that they will do their best to hold the Eaters in bay in our absence. What Eaters? I thought, well, I guess when the light comes back, I guess all the Sin Eaters come back too, I guess. Although, where are they coming from now? Gods know you've spent enough time charging into danger on our behalf. It's only fair that we return the favor. I once said that I wanted to fight for Estinian, that I wanted to save him, not let him be sanctified, not let him be sacrificed for a cause. And now I say the same to you. Hey, whatever happened to Estinian? Just so you know, I will not look kindly on any further attempts to leave us behind. We do this together. Thou didst plan to commandeer an Amaro for thy journey to the open sea. I fear the following dive down into Emmett Selk's underwater abode would drain even thy legendary stamina. Thus, during thy convalescence, we considered the most efficacious method for reaching the depths of the Tempest, and I believe we have arrived at an elegant solution. Yet ere we discuss this step, I suggest thou dost conclude thy pressing business as remains to thee in the Crystarium. Once the sea closeth above our heads, we are unlikely to surface again until our grand deed is done. The Unbroken Thread. Quest complete. Finally, that was a long quest. I think what he's saying is, do all the quests you need to do before we go under the sea. But I believe I have. To Storm-Tossed Seas is our next quest. Alright. Well, I'm gonna stop here because I'm tired.